207 overtime. Skipped a round off. 180. $175, a little low, but I'll take it. Hey guys, welcome out to the range. Today I wanted to do, excuse me, a video to kind of cover something that happened not too long ago in a class, and I made a mental note of it when it occurred. And then as I was editing the video last week, it came back into my head, and I refreshed the note in my phone and slid it up to the top. Don't be that guy. Crappy training lights, muzzle devices, unsafe weapons and or holsters or sling setups. Okay. This brings to mind a recent class and a class from about 1.5 years ago. At a handgun class recently, we had one night of the class, the whole night for hours, was low light moving into no light. The sun was going down, so we started working with low light and then moved all the way into no light. And it was late. Excuse me, it was late. I get exhaustion. I get dehydration. I get it. But the guy was really, really unsafe. Like, didn't know what he was doing. Honestly, really should not have been at that particular class because of that level. And I guess that's another gripe that I have to add to the list. Instructors who know that a student shouldn't be there, but they let them be there anyways because they need the instructor needs the income. And that one unsafe student ruins the line for the other 15 of us. Yeah, it's kind of crappy. This particular guy, we were doing low light techniques, and I'm going to leave my light off for this. We were doing low light techniques. By the way, guys, you should have EDC batteries and you should have training batteries. And the training batteries literally just can have a T on them or just, training. But you should have training batteries or EDC batteries. And what's in here are EDC batteries. So I try not to turn this light on. I guess I should cover that real quick. I don't do the press check for the handgun thing. Well, there's something similar for light. I'll do this one time. You roll it in, and then you would check to make sure that light is running. I don't do that. I used to do that constantly, and what I ended up doing was killing batteries, because it was every time light's working, holster, light's working, holster. Same with the handheld light. And then one time I actually went to use it because I heard about it. And so I went to investigate what was going on, and the light went blink, blink, blink. And yeah, so luckily the handheld had a lot more juice in it, and I was able to bring that up and go, okay, that could have gotten potentially ugly. So yeah, don't be popping your light on because you'll end up killing the light. But anyways, this guy had a light that was, I don't know what the light's manufacturer was. Don't know, I don't care. But the student, I kept saying to him, you have got to stop doing that, because he kept accidentally popping the light, popping the light, popping the light, popping the light. And he was catching the gravel around us because it was light-colored gravel. And he kept catching the gravel, and it was just blasting me. And I said to the guy, please stop doing that, because every time you do that, man, you were just killing my vision. And all I'd see was this purple blob like this, a horizontal purple blob out in front of me of that flash image of what I just captured from him flashing the gravel. And he said to me, the tail cap on this is not very good. And I so badly wanted to go, what's the name of the manufacturer? Because I knew that camera and this camera were running. And I thought, I want to get that manufacturer's name so I can put that video out, so I can say stop, because I can almost guarantee you. Guys, you say Surefire, Streamlight, Enforce, and people go, huh? Because now every tactical Timmy is pushing the Chineseium lights at everybody, and big name manufacturers are also pushing the Chineseium, I should say, lights, optics, and lasers to everybody. And they are dumbing down the industry, and there are so many new shooters that have entered that literally don't know that you can get really quality lights that are made in the US. Although, with all honesty, Enforce has been sold to a Chinese company, and I don't know how long it's going to be before this crap is Chineseium. So right now it's still made in Rhode Island. I don't know how long this stuff is going to become Chineseium. And I can almost bet you when it does, you'll be able to tell the difference. Well, maybe not the general public, but those of us that are on the inside will be able to tell the difference. But I'll stop now because, you know, I don't want to get sued. Truth is so expensive. Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay, so this guy had a horrible light with a very, very sensitive tail cap. So instead of having a nice stiff tail cap like this TFX does, this guy had an ultra sensitive tail cap that if you brushed it, he said to me, he goes, if I brush against this tail cap, the light turns on. I said, is it a waterproof cap or is it a, I forget the term for it, but basically there are caps that are nothing but just like a straight electrical contact that allows you to just turn that light on and shut it off for syringe use like this. So all you do is touch it to the meaty part right here and the light activates. And for those, you don't want to use stiff caps like this because the stiff caps require a lot of to get them to work. And so anyways, he says, no, this is a digital waterproof cap. And I went, and it's that sensitive? You got a problem. And so there's that guy. And then there is the guy at the class with the 9-pound AR-15 with the cheap light, with the pressure pad on the handguard, and the setup that has the like Wushu Ping Hang Dragon Slayer muzzle device wangy dangy on the end of the thing, and it puts out these huge fireballs, like Reed Hendricks calls them Blue Falcon, Blue Falcons, which, yeah, that's, yeah, I'm with that. I have always said that at rifle class, there, and really now at handgun classes, because donuts are showing up with muzzle devices on their handguns. Don't be the guy who shows up with a Glock 19 that ends up bigger than a Glock 17, because you've put so much crap on the front of the gun and on the mag well. Literally, Glock 19s that are bigger than Glock 17s. I've seen them. And these dudes have comps that are porting this way and porting this way, and you get that kind of effect when the guy cooks one off. So I have always said that, like in the days of old, there was smoking and non-smoking. There should be ported and non-ported, right? There should be muzzle device, non-muzzle device. And there should at least be 2 empty slots between us kind-hearted regular people who like one another and appreciate society, and those of you who think that more crap equals more skill. You know what equals skill? That. Putting in the work. On a rainy day. This video right now doesn't capture what was going on 30 minutes ago when I got here. It was raining, which is why that camera right there actually has a microfiber cloth over the top of it to keep the rain off of the lens, to keep the rain off of the body of the camera. Because it was raining out here, and I was training. If it ain't raining, it ain't training. Guys, I've been lucky this year. It's been a dry year, but man, this is Tennessee. I'm accustomed to training in the rain. Yeah, handgun classes, rifle classes, don't be that guy. Please don't be the guy who shows up with so much garbage on their person and on their weapon and their sling setup. And I will actually do this as a dedicated video really quick too, but I'll close with this. I periodically receive emails from people asking, hey, can you make a shoulder pad for your slings? And I used to try to find buttery smooth ways to say no, and now I just say no, it doesn't need it. And I go, do you have a sling? Well, no, I want to buy one of your slings, but I want one with a shoulder pad. And I go, well, you need to try the sling. If you were to try the sling, you'd understand it doesn't need a shoulder pad. And the reason hang on. I realized that instead of talking about it, I should probably just show you guys. This is my get-home gun. It's an 11.3. It weighs in the 6-pound range. It's a pleasure to shoot. It's a pleasure to carry with me. It's just it's a really nice gun to have around. And because it is so lightweight, I can wear it for an extended period of time and it just doesn't wear me out. Hang on, forgot something. Okay, here's the deal. When you have your sling on your gun, what you're going to find is the sling has enough bungee give in it that when you move, it just has a little bit of a bounce to it. And that little bit of bounce is what takes the need for a shoulder pad. Because now, instead of getting beat up by just a length of webbing that has no give to it, because this has bungee in it, anytime that this rifle tries to do this to you, the bungee is catching it. And that is why you need a shoulder pad on a sling. I watched, because the algorithm is always listening to what you're saying, it pushed a video to me the other day about choosing the right sling for you or something like that. And I watched this dude's video and I was like, you know, some of the stuff he gets and some of the things are just like, he's not getting it. He's not getting it because he's basically giving you a consumer's view of what the problem is, but he doesn't fully get what that problem is. And I gather that that was the case because some people give you what their opinion is, but they're not actually a designer. They're not a sling maker, and they don't have the vast body of training that I do. And when I make a sling and I set something up, I do it for a reason because of the experience and the training that I have. And what I noticed very quickly when I did this sling, the 2-point, I was trying to create the pleasure of the single point, because the single point is just beautiful. But the single point does leave one thing on the table, and it is when you are carrying that gun for a protracted period of time, it needs to be controlled. That rifle needs to be moved off to the side so that you can move with it without the gun constantly going bop, bop, bop in your leg. And that's what the sling does. But the reason it doesn't need the pad is because of that bungee. It eats it up for you. And the moment you need the gun, you can immediately bring it up from here. And this hand position is a shooting position because your first few shots can be fired pop, pop, pop from here, and then you can transition to there. But this allows you a position of control over that weapon, like in a casual state, like moving with it. And what this equates to is, for those that don't know, and also for storage, I guess I should show that too. For storage, you push out and rotate. And you notice how the sling pulled it back up against my back. And it's tight. Why? Because of that bungee. It just sucks the gun up against you. And when you need the gun, you bring it around, it goes right to the shoulder, and you're immediately on the gun. Guys, there's a lot of thought that has gone into my slings. There's a lot of training that has gone into my slings. And I have perfected this because of my years of training and experience. I'm done being polite and professional and quiet. Now I'm being bold and in people's faces about it. I go to classes and I see dudes screwing around with bad slings. And I've had customers tell me, your slings have made me throw, and they name off 3 big name, very expensive slings. And they say, those 3 slings are in the bin, the sale bin, the give it to buddies bin, the go to a rifle class and hey bro, you can have this sling, it's brand new, and you can have it for nothing, because they want to get it gone because of my slings. And these are the people who buy a sling, and then the next time I see their name come across the screen, I'm like, hey, cool, it's Jeff. And he buys 4 slings because he realizes what's good. So what I say to you is, this is the loaded statement, and I get it, so I want to make sure that I tone everything back here. Guys, I get that in many cases you don't know what you don't know, and it's not your fault. It's what I have repeatedly said on this channel. I love archery. I grew up shooting bows and arrows. But professional bows and arrows, man, that's different than, you know, little plinky doodle stuff. I mean, I go into the archery section at Cabela's, or now it's Bass Pro, and Chattanooga closed. Now, someone's going to tell me in the comment section, hey, go look at so-and-so's channel. Yeah, I've already done that. The point that I'm getting at is, from me, from my position, from where I stand in my life experience, I don't have the experience to know this is good, this is bad. And I'm reticent to go to a tactical channel because that person may be trying to push the free product that was sent to them. And what you guys don't know is those channels, those people, the media people contact me. Hey, bro. Oh, Lord. Anytime anybody begins with, hey, bro, I immediately go, and I just switch off. But I pay them the respect of reading the email, and it's, hey bro, I've got a huge followership on social media. Like, could you send me this, and also, do you have any swag that you could send me? And I just go, okay, so that email is what I thought it was. Delete, and I sweep past it and I go to the next email. I don't send slings to anybody. I've had customers who are respectful of me and they've bought my slings, and then they come back and they say, hey, I bought a couple slings last month, last week, whatever. I run a gun shop in the name off their area of the country, and they go, I really want to sell your slings because I really believe in your product. And that person I absolutely respond to, and I'll say, whatever Steve, whatever his name is, Steve, I really appreciate it, but for me to do that, I'd have to sell it to you for X amount of dollars, because I understand how all this works, guys. I've been in the industry for a long time. I'd have to sell it to you for X amount of dollars to make it worth your while financially for you to be able to make a profit. Well, there's no point in me doing that, because the reason that people do that is because they have a great product, but they can't get it out in front of people. Well, Tier 1 Citizen has been made what it's been made because of you guys. You guys are the ones that are doing the word of mouth. And I'm telling you for a fact, I have sold to all 50 states and every one of the U.S. territories except American Samoa. What's the other one? I can't. There are two. American Samoa, and there's another one. But I've sold to all 50 states and all U.S. territories. And I've even done a couple shipments to APO, FPO overseas, to military bases. That's humbling. That's you guys. That's you guys doing that. That's humbling for me. But that means that your word of mouth has gotten the word out about these slings. And people come back and they keep buying and buying and buying. And I appreciate that. So that tells me that at a certain level, you guys have figured out what's good and what isn't, because you've stepped out there and you've tried it. But now what the mentality is now is, we're waiting for people to hand us knowledge. Guys, I'll close with this. Knowledge is non-transferable. Experience is non-transferable. It's too subjective. I can't give you what I know and what I've experienced. The little nicks and scars that I have on my hands, those stand for experience. The pops and creaks and crunches that I have in my limbs and in my joints, that comes from experience, from dumb things that I did in training and or on the job as a cop. Learn from them, and I never repeated them again. That's non-transferable because it's subjective. It's me. It's inside of me. So you have to consider. So let's set aside slings, okay? Let's ignore slings for a moment. Let's make believe that this channel is about everything other than slings, because slings are what I do, okay? So slings are out of the picture. If I say to you, Glocks are the way to go, and here's why, and I give you 15 things about this gun that I really love, and there's way more than 15 things about this gun that I love, then you absolutely should know, and there's a reason Abner likes Glocks. Glock isn't paying him. Guys, I pay Glock for my Glocks, okay? And I don't even have that connection anymore. Now I just go to AIM Surplus and buy my Glocks, which, by the way, you should, because they have stuff in stock, and they also have retired police Glocks, so get on it. But I like Glocks for a reason. They're high quality, they work every time, I don't have to worry about them. Or if I say to you, I like cold steel blades. I've had this blade for many years, and it has been used for hundreds of things other than being a knife. I've hammered with it, pried with it, chiseled with it, yanked on things with it, hacked logs with it. Well, I guess that is cutting. But it becomes a utilitarian knife. Now, when it comes to my ShivWorks clinch pick, I've not used this. This was trust. But this came to me from my friend Shane Kerwin from Personal Survival Solutions. This was trust. I trusted Shane's opinion and appraisal of this blade based on his experience and his training, because Shane is a trustworthy person. And that's the point that I'm getting at. The people you're listening to, if you can't vet them, and you look at their videos and all you see is product, you can pretty much bet that that person is making their living off of what? Product. Think about it. As always, I thank you guys for watching. I thank you guys for your sling purchases and your donations. God bless you all. get those guns out in practice. Have a good one.